Good day, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to another technical summary video presented by me, Letty Janse van Vieren. The topic that I chose for you today is 6 benefits of a cybersecurity audit and then 6 steps to perform one. So this is all about cybersecurity and why we need audits to do this. So let's go and look at why it's important first of all, then going through a quick introduction, an overview of the publication where I found this. It was an online article that I found. And then I'm going to summarize for you the 6 benefits and the 6 steps to performing a cybersecurity audit. I'll end off with a short little summary and then refer you to the source document. But these are the key items that we are dealing with: cybersecurity and the audit of cybersecurity. Okay. The one abbreviation that I'm using here is ISACA. ISACA is the Information Systems Audit and Control Association. It's the only abbreviation that I'm using, and it's them that issued the article. Why is this so important? Why is it relevant to us? Well, cybersecurity audits is one more way for us to expand our services. If you're moaning about the Companies Act that took away your ability to audit because it took away the audits, and you've just got independent reviews and you've suffered because the money is no longer there, go and expand your practice. Expand your level of service, okay, your service offerings, by offering cybersecurity audits. Your clients may want to have a cybersecurity done. You just need to tell them why, because they can then identify potential security risk factors and they can receive recommendations from you, which is what they pay money for in any event. All right, your clients can actually demonstrate to their customers that they take security seriously. They don't want to be hacked so that their customers' information is all over the web. And then lastly, a cybersecurity audit empowers organizations to help and identify their cybersecurity risk and mitigate as well. All right. So that's why it's important. As part of an introduction, the term cybersecurity was originally used way back in the 1980s. They used it to describe the protection of computer networks, only networks. Then cyber attacks became much more frequent in the last 5 years. It's skyrocketed and it's become very, very sophisticated as well. So now cybersecurity is used to describe the protection of all aspects of the computer systems and the networks. And that includes what? The hardware, the software, the data, and the people. That's everything involved in your cybersecurity. So as more of the everyday life moves online, your personal and your financial information is increasingly at risk. Sit down for 1 second and think how many people have your telephone number. How many people and organizations out there have your ID number, your name, your banking details? It's quite shocking. And if you think that one of those are going to be hacked and they would then gain access by stealing your information from their system, you're not going to be a happy chappy. Right, so that's why the clients then need to say, this is what we do to make sure that we make your data safe. And that's why cybersecurity is actually a huge safety control within POPIA that is a requirement. You cannot be POPIA compliant if you are not cybersecurity safe. You've got to have special security controls in place, physical ones, application ones, and so on, to make sure that it's properly done. All right, to guard the personal information that you are privy to. So the publication itself is an online article that was published by ISACA in January this year. There's just what ISACA stands for. And you'll see the cybersecurity nowadays. There's tablets, there's people, there's all over, there's cloud computing, there's passwords, there's locks, there's lots of networks available, everything, right? Verification, protection, all of it. So cybersecurity is becoming a very critical issue for enterprises, for governments, and for individuals. You know, in the old days, in the 1980s, not everybody had a computer. It was the big multinational companies that had to worry about whatever they kept on their computers. And those were those box, I always call them those box computers. Right. Huge, tiny little screens, gigantic ones. I was watching a movie the other day, and they were still using a before we used the stiffies, and before there were flash drives, there were floppy disks. Floppy disks. I mean, they are gigantic. They're like half the size of our laptops nowadays. Huge things. All right. Because they literally have something that resembles a CD inside there. So that's more or less how big they were. But these enterprises, governments, individuals, they've got to take the steps to make sure that they are protected. Their systems are protected, their networks are protected, and that they can fight against cyber attacks so that they know that they've got certain controls in place. It's like when you stay in a house, you've got burglar proofing, you've got doors that lock, you've got security gates, you've got an alarm system, and you've got lighting and all sorts of things. It's the same thing. You've got to go and make your security system safe, your cybersecurity. And the first step in this, in becoming protectable, is to conduct a cybersecurity audit. First of all, to go and look at what you've got and where you can improve. And then it becomes a constant process. All right. So the six benefits of a cybersecurity audit is that you will then achieve business objectives like what? Identifying and mitigating risk. In the actual article, when you go through all of these, you'll find that there are lots of explanations under each one of these. I've just summed them up for you. You'll be able to protect sensitive information, comply with regulations like POPIA, right? Internationally, they've got the GDPR. Improve your security posture, gain customer confidence, as well as maintaining business continuity. How many times have you seen or heard lately where companies have been hacked and somebody holds their data for ransom? So they plant ransomware and they can't operate. I mean, think about if you've got to sit and lose a whole a day's worth of work. That's huge damage. I mean, that's a non-profitable day. Okay, I'm not talking about public holidays that are thrust upon us. I'm talking about when you lose and you literally can't work and you don't know when you'll be able to work again. And if you work, whether or not you'll get your client's information back in the same state that you had it. So it's really like holding your information hostage. So the business continuity becomes a big problem because you need to do proper backups and so on, and that's part of your security. What does a cybersecurity audit cover? Well, like I told you before, it's a systematic examination of an organization's IT structure. And you'll use that to identify and ultimately to mitigate your security risk. But we also cover the following areas during a cybersecurity audit. As you can see, lots of little compartments, and we've got the information security policies and procedures. So we'll go through what we say we should have: physical security, network security, app security, and then user security. So, and this is very important because normally the auditor will then also review the incident response plan. So you've got to have a continuity plan to say, what do we do when we hear that we've been hacked? Well, there's section 22 of POPIA that says we must report this to the information regulator. Then we must do this, 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 this. What is your disaster recovery plan? Do you have a business continuity plan? And I think in South Africa, in the last couple of years, it has not been a generally accepted service that is offered by insurance companies because it's something that's very hard to measure. But theft against cyber crimes is now also, I know King Price has one, to name one from an ad that I saw. They are now issuing these ransomware and insurance against cyber attacks. The six steps to performing a cybersecurity audit is number one, you plan it and then you scope the audit. So you decide what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Planning key. You will go there, you'll investigate this, you'll do that. Step number two is when you go into your gathering section. You gather all your information, you observe, and by observing, you document what you see and it becomes information. You gather data, right? You do exception reports. and anything that you can think of, you go in and you do live testing to go and see if you can hack a system. Then you'll go and evaluate the effectiveness of their cybersecurity controls. And it's not just a paper exercise. You know, successfully, if you go and have a look at the successful organizations, they've got what they call black hat operators. Now, the black hat operators merely wearing black because they used to be hackers in the bad sense of the way, and now they are literally employed as security specialists. Because believe it or not, those are the guys that make the best protections or design the best protection for the systems because they know how to hack it. So that's, I want you to think of that, the Black Hat Brigade there as well. So you'll review the data that's been gathered, you'll identify any potential risks or vulnerabilities, you'll document your findings that you found in an audit report normally, and you'll make recommendations for improvement. And then once that's done, you'll then follow up on your audit results to ensure that they have actually implemented your recommendations so that they can improve and that their cybersecurity is now more amped up. All right. Data is more secure, their networks are more secure, the users are more secure, all the rest of it. So in summary, regular cybersecurity audits are critical. Why? Because you want to make sure that your organization's security controls are up to date. And if there's something that's vulnerable, you want to know where the weaknesses lie. You want to find that weak spot so that you can strengthen it. It's the same as when you build a bridge. When you build a bridge, then you want to go and test it. Somebody jumps on it to see if the bridge is going to break. All right, and then they'll, I don't know, do whatever testing they'll do to make sure that it's properly that their vulnerabilities have been properly addressed. Also, by investing in these regular cybersecurity audits, the organizations can ultimately reduce their risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. That's what they can do. And once they do that, and they go public with it so that they can say to their clients, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but no, please know that we've taken measures to improve our cybersecurity to ensure that your data is kept safe because we know we are the custodians of some of your personal data. And that's worth money, not physical money. It's worth trust, customer confidence, which is worth a lot more because it leads to more money from your customers. Right. So your source document that I've given you the link to there, that's where you'll find the online article of ISACA, and that's that, the benefits of a security audit and how to perform it. So any questions, or if you feel you still need more detail, there are plenty of other technical alerts you can go and search as well on our YouTube channel if you find anything else in relation to cybersecurity. I know I did a whole Popia range where a lot of it was focused on cybersecurity as well, and the protection of data. Then I've also got on the technical summary videos on the YouTube channel. You can see there's the link to subscribe, and you'll then be able to access hundreds of other technical summary videos that I've done, or TSVs. Right. Webinars on demand, like for instance, the Popia range that I did. There was a whole series that I did where I said, what do you need to be Popia compliant, and what do you do with this, and what do you do with that? I think I did it was like 10 webinars in the series. So if you just want to go and look at the ones just relating to cybersecurity, I think it was step 6 or whatever, please feel free to go and obtain it. All right. Then lastly, we are looking at the MCLU subscription, which is where we let you know every month where there's something that's new and updated. And you do this so that you can stay up to date with the latest developments. So if you're not yet part of the MCLU family, please refer to the SAAA website there for our subscription options. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this in like a 14.5 minute nutshell has been cybersecurity audits, how to perform them, and what the 6 benefits are to them. So I hope that you learned something new and that you enjoyed this TSV with me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and goodbye.